Welcome to the ultimate guide to pack hunting dinosaurs. As your host, I've personally hunted and killed some of the most ferocious dinosaurs across the globe. So today, I'll be sharing my skills with you also that you can get one step closer to being an expert dinosaur hunter yourself. Let's begin. Our first pack hunter is Carnotaurus. Carnotaurus is the most beautiful bull dinosaur there ever was. But don't let its beauty fool you. This dinosaur was a brutal killing machine. It lived in what is now South America during the late Cretaceous period. The name Carnotaurus means meat-eating bull, and rightfully so. The horns on its head were used for intimidation and attracting mates, but it was also a lethal weapon when charging at unsuspecting prey. These dinosaurs had small heads with eyes on top of their heads, giving them great vision while standing upright on their hind legs. They could either use their strong front legs to help them balance or to knock prey off its feet. If you want to hunt Carnotaurus, try to sneak up on it from behind because they can't see very well in front of them due to the shape of their skull. However, their acute sense of smell will probably pick you up long before you can get close enough to strike. So you must be careful. Next we have Majungasaurus. Majungasaurus was a large carnivore that lived in what is now Madagascar. It was named after the place where it was discovered, Majunga. Fossils of this dinosaur were actually found together with many other species, indicating that this area was a kind of gathering place for dinosaurs. Majungasaurus had a long, narrow skull with many sharp teeth, used for catching and holding onto slippery prey. It also had extremely powerful jaws. Some scientists even believe that this dinosaur could use its jaws to crack bones. And if that's not impressive, I don't know what is. They had very short arms, so they probably didn't use them to hold their prey down. Instead, they probably stomped on their prey until it died. You'd think that with such huge legs, they would kick their prey like a soccer ball, but they were most likely too heavy to do so. Majungasaurus was probably a fast runner as well, able to catch up to its prey. If you want to hunt Majungasaurus, bring along a flare gun, because this dino hated bright lights and would often run away. Now, we have Utahraptor. Utahraptor was a genus of small carnivorous dinosaurs that lived in what is now North America. They were about the size of a German shepherd, but much more agile. They had long legs and necks, which made them look kind of awkward, but they were fast runners. Because of their slender build, they couldn't carry their prey over long distances, but they could easily drag it into the bushes. You might have heard of similar dinosaurs like Velociraptor or Deinonychus. Utahraptor was actually more closely related to these dinosaurs than to the true raptors. Their ancestors were small proto-raptors that chose violence and evolved into vicious killing machines. They were pack hunters, attacking herbivores in groups. They probably communicated with each other using a variety of vocalizations and visual displays. The best way to find Utahraptor is to follow the tracks they leave behind. They were habitual walkers and their tracks are very distinctive. However, you won't find their nests because they were probably ground nesters and destroyed their own nests after laying eggs to prevent them from being robbed. Up next is Baryonyx. Baryonyx was a huge carnivorous dinosaur that lived in what is now Europe. Its name means heavy bite, and you should definitely not underestimate this dinosaur. It was about the size of a Tyrannosaurus rex, but much more agile. It had a long neck and tail, short arms, and a huge head with many sharp teeth. This dinosaur was a fish eater, but it wasn't afraid to eat anything else. It would often steal prey from other dinosaurs. Baryonyx had very strong jaws and could easily crush bones and tear through flesh. It also had very powerful legs and could run very fast for a dinosaur its size. The best way to find Baryonyx is to follow the riverbanks, as that's where it likes to spend most of its time. It loves to ambush its prey, so it usually stays hidden among the trees. When it spots prey, it runs out of the bushes and snatches it in its mouth. Moving on, we have the Albertosaurus. Albertosaurus was a genus of carnivorous dinosaurs that lived in what is now North America. It was about the size of a lion and had a very similar build. It was very muscular and agile, but it had very short arms, which made it look kind of funny. However, don't let its appearance fool you. This dinosaur was a ruthless killer. It had very sharp claws on its feet, which it used to slash its prey. They often attacked other dinosaurs, including Triceratops. Despite their ferocity, Albertosaurus fossils have been found with injuries, indicating that they fought each other as well. In fact, they were known to cannibalize their own kind. The best way to hunt Albertosaurus is to distract it with something shiny, because this dino loved to play with pretty things. Once it gets distracted, it's easy to sneak up on it and stab it in the back. Just make sure to bring plenty of bandages, because it can be a real challenge to bring down. Next we have Giganotosaurus. Giganotosaurus was a massive carnivore that lived in what is now South America. It was one of the largest land predators that ever existed, about the size of a school bus. Don't let its size fool you. This dino was surprisingly quick and agile. It had a long neck and tail, short arms, and a huge head with many sharp teeth. It was a hypercarnivore, meaning that it ate only meat. It would often attack other dinosaurs, including sauropods. Even though Giganotosaurus was huge, it was still very elusive and often went for days without being seen. It preferred to live in remote areas away from other dinosaurs. To find Giganotosaurus, you need to track it for days because it rarely stayed in one place for too long. Also, it has excellent camouflage, so be prepared for a long search. Once you finally spot it, you must be very careful. This dino is a master at ambushing its prey. Moving on, we have Megalodon. Okay, I lied. This animal isn't actually a dinosaur. It's a shark, but it's still a fierce predator worth mentioning. It lived in what is now the Atlantic Ocean and was one of the largest fish that ever existed. It was about the size of a sperm whale and had many rows of sharp teeth. Megalodon was a hypercarnivore, meaning that it ate only meat. It would often attack other sea creatures, including whales. It preferred to swim in deep waters, but sometimes came closer to shore to hunt seals and sea turtles. Scientists estimate that it could reach speeds of up to 46 miles per hour. That's faster than most cars on the highway. It could also jump out of the water to catch its prey. That's why you should never go swimming in the ocean unless you want to become someone's lunch. To find Megalodon, you need to explore the deep waters of the Atlantic Ocean. Good luck with that. Next we have Spinosaurus. Spinosaurus was a large carnivorous dinosaur that lived in what is now North Africa. Its name means spine lizard, and you should definitely not underestimate this dinosaur. It was about the size of a T-Rex, but much more agile. It had a long neck and tail, short arms, and a huge head with many sharp teeth. Spinosaurus preferred to live near rivers and lakes, where it would often fish for prey. It also ate other dinosaurs, including Tyrannosaurus. It was actually the first dinosaur ever discovered that didn't look like a huge lizard. It was very different from other dinosaurs in many ways. For example, it had very poor eyesight, so it probably relied on its other senses to hunt. It also had a strange hump on its back, but no one knows for sure what it was used for. Some scientists believe that it was used for display purposes, while others believe it was used for storing fat. If you want to hunt Spinosaurs, bring along a lot of bait, because this dino loves to feed on fish. Just make sure you don't fall into the water yourself. And last, but certainly not least, we have Tyrannosaurus rex. Tyrannosaurus rex was a massive carnivorous dinosaur that lived in what is now North America. Its name means tyrant lizard king, and rightfully so. It was one of the largest and most powerful dinosaurs that ever existed. It had a huge head with many sharp teeth, a long neck and tail, and very short arms. T-Rex was a hypercarnivore, meaning that it ate only meat. It would often attack other dinosaurs, including Triceratops. Despite its huge size, T-Rex was surprisingly fast and could run up to 18 miles per hour. It was also very intelligent and knew how to use its environment to its advantage. For example, it would often hide in tall grass to ambush its prey. The best way to hunt Tyrannosaurus rex is to sneak up on it from behind because it couldn't see very well in front of it. However, you'll need a lot of courage because this dino was a ruthless killer. So that wraps up the ultimate guide to pack hunting dinosaurs. As you can see, there are many different types of pack hunting dinosaurs, and they all have their unique skills and abilities. Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more awesome content. Thanks for watching, have a great day and stay curious.